achieve. Because I do the things I should, between my brethren, kind and good. So I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow.
Oh yes, my Straight Talk family, it's time to keep moving on and time to bid you greetings wherever you are in the world, because we are on the World Wide Web and we reach and touch you all around the globe. But we do wish to start at home. They say charity begins at home. So let me say a very pleasant night to St. Kitts and Nevis and to the entire Caribbean region. To my Straight Talk family in the Kittitian and Nevision and Caribbean diaspora all over the globe, I say greetings. And I'm at liberty to say good night, because some of you are in North America. A whole lot of you are in North America. And I can say good morning and or good afternoon, because some of you are in Asia, some of you are in Africa, and some of you are in Europe. So let me say a very pleasant night, very pleasant morning, and a very pleasant afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And welcome all to Straight Talk, and I want to thank all of you who continue to share the link. And when you do share the link, then we get first-timers. And for the first-timers, I must inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to really we try, I should say, to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with the opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And I always like to pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. And I do so in particular for the first timers and those who've been here for a long time. You know, all we do here is to promote the truth. As I'm reminded all times of the words of a favorite hymn of mine, written by Thomas Jackson and Franz Joseph Haydn. And an excerpt goes something like this: we are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, as standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. So let us seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. So my Straight Talk family, especially you first-timers, and I trust and hope it won't be your last time, tell your friends that you're connected with Straight Talk, wherever you are in the Caribbean, Jamaica, Guyana, Grenada, hi Grenada, how is St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, yes, Venezuela, espero que todo va bien, and the Dominican Republic too. We do reach there, all over the Caribbean, I should say. But just to let you know that absolutely nothing is watered down on this program. We never attempt to try to make it more interesting, either by omission nor by exaggeration, because we are not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we always lean on the facts, my Straight Talk family, because it's my duty, my bounden duty, to present the unvarnished truth, as I call it, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance in St. Kitts and Nevis. And my Straight Talk family, this program joins us together with people across the Federation. Through this program, we are joined with people in the diaspora all around the world. Some we know very well and have met. Others we don't know, and many we will never meet. Some of us will agree with the positions of truth advanced, or I should say most of us will agree with the positions of truth advanced on Straight Talk. And some will disagree, and that's fine. We promote diversity. But please, what will sadden me, my Straight Talk family, is if we ever start to become disagreeable. So let's thank Almighty God nonetheless for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, and oh, how we need unity in the world and in this country in particular. So let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing His praise together. Welcome again, my people, and thanks one more time, for those who continue to share the link and bring first-timers. Please continue to do so. And for the first-timers, I must also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean, we include your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded calling, the numbers are on your monitors. 663-6672. That's a local number. If you want to access that local number from overseas, obviously, you must use our code 869. But there's an overseas number as well, 646-829-6672. Or for those who like what I call the cloak of anonymity, as I call it, we give you access via our email platform, and that address is Straight Talk Patches, that's one word, at gmail.com. Alexa, for those who have Alexa, we also heard live. Just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio, and you are live. But let's say a special welcome, of course, to our Junior Brigade. I'm sure most of them have been back from vacation because school starts soon. I think school starts on Monday. Am I correct? So let's say hello, Dwayne. Hello, Tristan. Shama, Kevin, Young Roo, Costa, Jamal in Anguilla, Travis, what am I saying? Travis and Travan of Pond Extension. How is a special lady in St. Louis? And my Straight Talk family, we normally begin with our observations in review, which are an integral part of Straight Talk. Then we will move into my thesis. And following my thesis, I will then include your calls and your emails, as mentioned earlier, to allow your full participation. Yes, on this program, you get an opportunity to have your say. And observations in review, the time when we highlight the current issues and do some reflection. We may then ask a few questions, such as what was accomplished, how has it helped others, what has changed since, and what can be expected next, what new we have learned, because it's a learning process. And after our observations in review, we will begin our thesis for tonight, which I have titled PM July Got It Wrong Again. So don't you change that platform. Just spread the word that Straight Talk is on. And my first observation, my Straight Talk family, I met someone on Saturday who encouraged me to keep the focus on the water quality from the cabbage tree well over there in Keon. That individual said to me that while he has not experienced burning up the eyes, instead he's experienced a terrible stench, a smell, whenever the water is turned on. But what it tells me, my Straight Talk family, is that residents in Keon still have concerns about the water quality coming from that new well that was drilled by Bede. And Bede seemed to have a problem with all three wells it has drilled in St. Kitts. Has a problem in Nevis. It hasn't drilled a well. Don't know if the snake got back his $2 million. But the SOCO engineer Convis and the Water Services Department ought to provide some form of public explanation to allay the fears of consumers in that area over there in Cabbage Tree in Keon. That's in the northeast, for those of you who understand the geography of St. Kitts. We know where that well is located, so it is not unreasonable to think that sewage leaks are in the area, thus creating some form of contamination. Could it be, my Straight Talk family, that sewage has leaked into that well as it is constructed smack in the center of the Cabbage Tree community? And we heard the supervisor of quality some weeks ago had this to say about nitrates and infiltration and the contamination, possibly contamination. He said this.
For instance, like arsenic, we would test for like high nitrate content. It depends on where they're located. High nitrate content could also indicate that you probably have contamination, or you could probably have sewage seeping in. It depends on where the well is located. You know, some of them are located near homes, and probably their septic is not built to spec, so they have leaks. So you have a high nitrate content in those areas.
And my Straight Talk family, we know where that well in Cabbage Tree is located. So are there leaks from the sewage? But recall as well, my Straight Talk family, that Quality Supervisor Greenaway also informed the nation that new tests were conducted on the same well. He told us that samples were sent to the Bureau of Standards, but that was over a month ago, and the residents of Keon are still awaiting word on the latest findings from the Bureau of Standards. But we never told us this, my Street Dog family.
Basically, most persons will be concerned with the Cabbage well. We have had persons on the media or Facebook going around saying the water content is, for instance, salty, but up to last week, I personally went and did a test and matching prior results, because some of it is tests have been done over a period of time and the results are matching those that we had before. But to be on the safe side, just a week ago, the manager also instructed to get the lab involved, and we went and we took some samples, so we're still awaiting the results for those samples. But
yes, to be on the safe side, his manager instructed them to take some samples. So we are still awaiting the results from the Water Services Department and from the waterman, declared self-professed waterman, so-called engineer Conris Maynard. Residents are also awaiting a full report from the so-called engineer Conris and the Water Services Department on the disposition of the quality of water at Shadwell 1 after recent tests were done. We are reliably informed. Now, Shadwell 1 was already in the system, but we are informed that for some reason the Water Services Department commissioned an inspection of 7 wells, including Shadwell 1. And since that time, we understand that the well was shut down, causing shortages in the areas as listed in this Facebook notice from the Water Services Department. And you see the areas listed there at Olives, Shadwell East and West, Pine Gardens, Buckley's, Housing Development Park and Extension, Ways Garden, College Housing, Taylors and Bladen. And according to this release, water supply to these areas would only be available from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. There are some other areas as well throughout the country where this water issue still or do exist, I should say, my Street Dog family. But we are following the issues of shortages and quality of water, and we trust and hope that the so-called engineer, Conris Maynard, who is the minister responsible for water, will be upfront with the people and let us know what is going on, because water is life. Our second observation, my Street Dog family, speculation is rife, and a lot of blame has been apportioned since some high-profile deaths in St. Kitts. Over the past 2 weeks, 2 of these were assassination-style murders. The other one was the untimely death of former Member of Parliament Glenn Ghost Philip. Now, Glenn Ghost Philip, according to the big lies, he was killed. We have not been able to independently verify this story that we read in the Times Caribbean, but quoting big lies as stating unequivocally this about his friend.
They kill me friend Ghost. I'm gonna say so. They kill my friend Ghost. So sad. And somebody or bodies, they're trying to cover it up. My research points out that my friend Glenn Ghost Philip went to the hospital complaining of stomach pain. He was seen and sent back home. They say, that's why I said they killed Ghost. Not no name, they. They claim that he had food poisoning. Now, Ghost live alone. Eating habits might not be as good. So I could understand possible food poisoning. But further examination, doing my research, the body picked me and tell me Ghost died as a result of appendicitis. A ruptured appendix. Kill me, friend. In this modern day, septic poisoning, a ruptured appendix.
And my straight dog family, that is an epitome. It epitomizes, is a perfect example of the health system under Health Minister and Prime Minister Dr. Terence Michael July. And reliable rumors suggest that Ghost Philip in fact presented himself to the A&E at the JNF General Hospital, that's the Accident and Emergency Department, and was misdiagnosed and sent home only to die. Meanwhile, my straight dog family, speculations are rife. Speculations are widespread in relation to the assassination of Kitchen superstar Imark. And wrongly or rightly, fingers are being pointed at the Minister of Tourism, Marsha Henderson. Now, Straight Talk cannot confirm the veracity of the content of this video recently released by KN Whoop, which goes something like this. My Straight Talk family.
Like you, I am extremely outraged and profoundly disturbed at the recent uptick in crime and tragic acts of violence against our people.
Yeah, no love for the traitor. The man that cover haters, yeah. Come around every day, dog. And I watch man pocket for the paper. But me pray, yeah, me pray, Jah. And me swear to the Savior. I want me kill him like a stray dog. When it comes to me life, me no play, dog. Me can't trust nobody, no. Trust nobody, yo.
No. The artists had a problem with how y'all dealing with music festival, which in the artist have his rights to his own opinion. Everybody have their rights to their own opinion. But because you get up in your feeling, you block the man from touring, from traveling to the US and in Canada. You are called the embassy, you are called the airport, you are called all over the place and made them know, and made them to believe that our artist is a menace to society. The people them are saying it's Nevis ain't vote. We ain't voted to be victimized because of our opinion. You got to take some responsibility of what it is an artist, because if you didn't do that, it's because of your actions. Is why the artist still in a saying kids, you know. He could have been out of foreign doing what he got to do. He would have been alive.
And my Straight Talk family, the minister has not responded to date. So is it fair or accurate to state, like some have stated to it, the blood of IMAC is on the hands of the minister? And my third observation, my Straight Talk family, I read about an interesting development within the OECS, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, with respect to the world boss Vybz Kartel, who was released on July 31st, 2024 from prison in Jamaica on appeal to the Privy Council, which overturned his verdict, which was guilty of murder, and overturned after serving 13 years of a life sentence in Jamaica. And this was reported by Lisa Evans of Fox 5. Channel Fox 5.
Lisa, what's up?
The voice of Adidja Palmer, known around the world as superstar dancehall artist Vybz Kartel, sounded the same, but his face was different, covered in bandanas and dark sunglasses, similar to how he looked coming out of the Tower Street Correctional Facility on July 31st. He was behind bars for nearly 13 years on a murder charge that was never proven and ultimately thrown out.
Everything is going according to plan, and I mean, life is good.
Superstars including Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Drake celebrated his release. Less than a day later, he dropped a mixtape called First Week Out. The 12-track EP is already blazing up the charts.
And my Straight Talk family, the social media reports, nonetheless, are very interesting, as our Prime Minister, Terence Michael July, always boasts about being a medical doctor. And he has lectured us. He has given us many lectures in the past 2 years about building a smart hospital in St. Kitts. Well, the world boss, Vybz Kartel, must first focus on his own health. He must focus on the recovery of his own health, to be exact, my Straight Talk family. And this was reported.
Anything, Kartel must get his health back. It took a turn for the worse during his years behind bars, at times in debilitating conditions. About 8 years ago, he was diagnosed with the autoimmune disorder called Graves' disease, which can cause swelling and serious complications. He also suffered from heart disease, according to court testimony by his physician, Dr. Karen Phillips. In court documents, she said both could be treated better outside prison walls.
Did she give you like a certain diet now that you have to watch?
No, not yet. We have to do now another series of blood tests next week, Tuesday, and then we move from then.
Fans have given him the nickname Teacher, and here you can see why.
Sometimes we gotta, thank you, baby. Sometimes we gotta just know that we still have to find time for family, for friends, for loved ones, and give it the same amount of energy that we would our careers.
But my Straight Talk family, Comrade Ralph Gonzalez, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is not a medical doctor, but holds a doctorate in philosophy and has attracted worldwide attention by facilitating the medical attention needed by Kartel. Vybz Kartel, the world boss.
Okay, this is the man who say, right, a bag of girl run down the Vinci youths. What you expect me to do?
Vybz Kartel in St. Vincent. Prime Minister having a round table conversation. Most Jamaicans said that Andrew Holness, which is Jamaica, Prime Minister will never gather with Adidja Palmer. Vybz Kartel.
Okay, this is the man who say, right, a bag of girl run down the Vinci youths. What you expect me to do? Love them. Then that touch them. They expect people to do. You have to love them.
Yes.
World boss in the streets of St. Vincent showing love to fans and having a good time.
Another joke is World Boss and Kelly Glass.
Hey, and the open and
Them a pray for me fall like rain.
Want to be shopping at Jack's? Have you come again?
Yes, man, I will.
Yeah, alright.
Remember, shop not shops. Love me to the max.
You understand, my Straight Dog family, that the world boss would be purchasing land in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which may very well be his next home. But is St. Kitts Nevis ready for the world boss? Well, if we are, it will have to be after December. And according to the world boss, it will cost plenty of money, my Straight Dog family. And my final observation is a very brief one. And it relates to the snake Mark Brantley, who have taken political prostitution and lies to the lowest level in St. Kitts and Nevis. Snake Mark Brantley is on record of praising the Team Unity administration on many occasions for being the best thing that ever happened to me. And he said it in so many ways, but we call this one.
Team Unity represents the best opportunity for the country of St. Kitts and Nevis to continue the stellar performance that we've had. We are leading, and I want people in St. Kitts and Nevis to get accustomed to that word. We are leading in nearly every facet of human development. St. Kitts and Nevis is ahead of the rest in the sub-region. Economy, human rights, good governance, transparency, low crime, safety and security, you name it, we're leading. It didn't happen by chance. It occurred because you have a team that is dedicated, that is working, that is committed.
And my Straight Talk family, having listened to the utterances of Snake Mark Brantley, who would believe that the Snake Brantley, who has received over $600 million in support from Team Unity, yet has not completed most of his capital projects on Nevis, including the infamous wing of the Alexandria Hospital for the last 7 or more years. Who would believe that Snake Mark Brantley would take a backward somersault and give this response to a question about 2 weeks ago? Who would believe this, my Straight Dog family? It's difficult to understand this response.
Good night, Mr. Mark.
Good night.
With all due respect, when Unity was in office, you said that was the best treatment you got from Unity Construct.
Yes.
So now my question to you, under the Labour administration now in there for 2 years, you still stand that the best treatment Nevis got was under the Unity Construct?
The treatment that we have had in relation to Labour, in my humble opinion, has been better. I say that because Dr. Drew has extended the same courtesies that had been extended to Nevis under Team Unity, and he has gone further. So in my view, I am not yet at the point where I can say that we have ironed out this issue of fair share, but
Dr. Drew has extended all that unity gave and has gone further.
Would you believe that, my Straight Dog family? But Dr. July would be foolish to ignore the fact that the snake Brantley conned Vance Winkworth Emery. He conned Sean Richards, then conned Timothy Harris. A friend of mine told me that the snake Mark Brantley just took Wabinish or Wabinish to a new low. That's a colloquial term, Wabi, and I'm sure you heard that before. Another friend told me that the snake Mark Brantley is like a whore, as he is now purchasable, capable of being bought or obtained for money. He is willing to have political intercourse to pay his over $500 million debt he has racked up in Nevis. What a man, my Straight Dog family. But those are my observations in review for tonight. And I'll move right into my thesis, which I mentioned earlier, is titled, Prime Minister July Got It Wrong Again. And my Straight Dog family, there exists a real problem with our government in that no matter what is said, it is not half as democratic as it should be. There is a very serious concern in that affluent, less the rich, special interests have too much power in our political system, and the ordinary poor people has too little power or no power at all. For any society to be truly democratic, political power must be shared by all. It must be distributed relatively equally among all of us as citizens of this beloved federation. I am sure that as Kititians and Nevisians, we understand this principle very well. Why shouldn't we as citizens, whether we are PAM, whether we are Labour, whether we are CCM, whether we are NRP or PLP, why shouldn't we all have an equal chance to influence government policy? That is why elections are so crucial to democracies, or as we will find in the literature, that is why elections define the characteristics of democracies. Ideally, in elections, we all have the same exact amount of power. Our one vote. A banker does not have more votes than a sanitation worker or a farmer. And a rich person cannot vote more times than a poor one. So the vote, it is said, is the ultimate form of equal political power. And if it were the only form of political power, then our democracy would not be in so much trouble. But your vote and my vote is just one among many other sources of political power. And many of these sources are in the private sector, where they are distributed very unequally. And that is why I said ideally, meaning we are not in a perfect world. And even our Prime Minister July confessed that our elections are easily bought, my Straight Dog family.
The election in St. Kitts and Nevis, whether you believe it or not, can be bought. It is not too expensive for a rich person to buy an election in St. Kitts and Nevis. This election has proven that.
The result is that instead of being responsive to average Kittitians and Nevisians, our government is primarily reacting to a powerful elite. This crop of leaders seems to always pander to bow down to the socially superior part of society. The government had a massive influence over the lives of many, but just like administrations before, it surely got it wrong. This team of experts, as they call themselves, and yes, they did, self-confessed team of experts, they call themselves my Straight Dog family.
I'm tremendously proud of this team. This team is filled with experts in various fields. Any field you might call, there's an expert here, somebody who is well versed in that area, even more versed than me, and that's a good thing. So if I talk about sustainable development, you have Dr. Joya Clark. If I speak to youth and women affairs, you have Honorable Iselin. If I speak about small business and entertainment and agriculture, Honorable Samuel Duggins, well established. If I speak about energy and engineering and so forth, the Honorable Conway Maynard. If I speak about the law, it's a given, or our AGS. When I speak about the tourism product and the advancement of labor laws and so forth, we have our learned Honorable who is a lawyer. When I speak about experience in government, we have our senior minister, the Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas. When I speak about education, and I mean, when you talk about empowering of the youth and community development, we have our Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Hanley. And so this team is a serious team.
How serious, my Straight Dog family? Because from day one in the office until now, 2 years and more thereafter, they continue to perpetually make the wrong decisions. But someone asked me the other day if they ever did anything right. And I said, yes, I must be honest. Because no matter what you heard them say about the CBI and the illegality of the prison project, which in opposition Terence Drew called a crime, he said this, my Straight Dog family.
The prison project alone is providing $2 billion. Big scandal. Over $2 billion. That is a crime. That is a crime. Somebody needs to be brought to the court for that. It is not right that something like that should happen.
But my Straight Dog family, July came to office. And in December of 2022, he amended the standing rules and orders as it relates to CBI fees, my Straight Dog family. But he never changed, hear me, he never changed the fee structure. As a result, the July administration has already collected over $500 million in fees on that one project, my Straight Dog family, the correctional facility, or as we know it, the prison project. July told us how many passports were issued. Then why doesn't he tell us how much money in fees the government collected? So once Caribbean Galaxy paid the fees as per section 35, look at your monitors, my Straight Dog family, look at your screens. As per section 35(1) or 35 subsection 1A, B, C, and D, and E, Caribbean Galaxy has paid all these fees, and based on the numbers of passports, or number of passports that July said were signed, and he signed most of them, believe it or not. So I must say, I must confess, July got that right and should have paid our dividend, but he failed to do so. But my Straight Dog family, we live in a world that's filled with complexity. We live in a world that's filled with unpredictability and uncertainty. Therefore, in this era, we really need governments to get it right. From our COVID-19 pandemic response on the basis of a life-first strategy, St. Kitts Nevis earned the distinction of recalling the lowest number of deaths in the world. And we can look at the stats, and we always provide you with the facts, my Straight Dog family. Our team unit administration, because of the life first strategy, hold the distinction of having the lowest amount or lowest number of deaths in the entire world, my Straight Dog family. Our team unity administration got it right with the vaccination program and the economic stimulus that ran into the millions of dollars, which was extended at some point in time, my Straight Dog family.
I turn now to the matter of the stimulus payment, $1,000 per month, that has been paid over the last couple of months by the Social Security Board. I have listened intently to callers on this weekly program expressing their gratitude for our comprehensive stimulus package and seeking extension of some components. As a caring and compassionate leader, I have, with the Cabinet, sought ways of responding without being fiscally reckless. I am pleased to advise that those persons who are not yet back out to work, according to the Social Security records, will receive a further assistance in September to help them meet some of their expenses at this difficult time.
And my Straight Talk family, right now, the country is in need of a government that knows how to deal with the bread and butter issues, high cost of food, the high cost of rent because of the shortage in housing. Where are the 2,400 houses that were promised by the slow student, my Straight Dog family? Where are they?
Today, as the minister responsible for housing and human settlement, I am pleased to formally announce that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and National Housing Corporation NHC has signed a contract with East Coast Housing Development, a Trinidadian-based developer, to finance and deliver 2,400 affordable smart homes over a period of 4 years, 600 of which will be made available each year.
And my Straight Dog family, but why are we surprised that Jeffrey Halley has not delivered 4 houses to date? Jeffrey Hanley is a self-confessed slow student whose only achievement is a bogus doctorate, my Straight Dog family. Yes, his only achievement is a bogus doctorate, but he's a slow student, as he confessed himself.
I told you how I started off as a slow student. I went to 1A4, 2A4, 3G7, 4G6, 5th form, 5G6. And guess what? I repeated. So I was in school for quite a while.
My Straight Dog family, where did Jeffrey Hanley matriculate? He is yet to tell the country at which college or university was he enrolled and got his PhD. But the country is also in need of a government that knows how to kickstart the medicinal marijuana industry, not just an empty promise of growing money on trees, my Straight Dog family. Not at all.
Marijuana industry, as we have heard, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And we have been dragging at a snail's pace in getting involved. And I could not understand for the life of me why. Literally growing money on trees. But yet somehow, we don't want to participate. But I dare say, that era is over. And it's now a new day. And a better way. So in 2023, expect a vibrant, thriving marijuana industry. Literally growing money on trees.
A big joke for Samuel Duggins. But that was over a year ago, my Straight Dog family. The country is in need of a government that knows how to deliver a reliable electricity and water supply, not one that rents gen sets. Back to the old days, my Straight Dog family. Gone right back to the old days under the soca engineer, my Straight Dog family. Gone right back to the old days, spending millions of dollars on generator rentals. That's what this government has given us, my Straight Dog family. Water is life, it is said. But we will soon die from the quality of water being provided and from the daily rationing. As I intimated earlier, my Straight Dog family, I did intimate just one part of the problem. But the country is in need of a government that knows how to tackle crime or tackle climate change and to deal with the scourge of crime and violence. Our lives depend on it. But to many, this government seems clueless and their decisions leave us confused. We changed from a leader who was on top of the policy issues and was able to project a sense of calm compared to the present leader who fumbles his brief and lies like when a horse is trotting. However, my Straight Dog family, let us not be fooled that our one vote has the same exact amount of power. If that was true, my Straight Dog family, if that was true, believe it, if that was true, I say, then how is it that Duncan Big Lies Watley, my friend, we're still friends, Big Lies? How is it that Big Lies went to the National Bank for a loan of $120,000, beg your pardon, to consolidate his business and was declined? At least this is what he said, my Straight Dog family.
Now I go on National Bank now, saying, well, I want to consolidate because I owe Skelec, I want to pay Skelec. I owe Social Security, I want to pay Social. I owe my brother, I want to pay him. I owe something else, and so let me consolidate. That is what business people do. Apply for a loan in National Bank of $120,000. And the bald-head Adams over there went me and tell me, because of your obligation at Development Bank, they can't give me the loan. I reached out to a man over there on the board, and this is the part that really hurt me. I went to Cosman and said, Cosman, you're on the board. I need you to make an intercession on my behalf. Cosman told me he's not getting involved in the running of the Bank of Airs.
But Buddy Darby and Christoph Harbour owe the same National Bank $130 million. That managing director Crosman and a board of directors headed by a Mrs. Buddy has failed to collect. They have withdrawn the case, we are told. Christoph Harbour got thousands of acres of land on the southeast peninsula for nuts change, my Straight Dog family, nuts change.
Christoph Harbour is 2,500 acres of land. We've got 13 miles of shoreline with the property, 6 beaches, of which I would argue that at least 3 of the 6 beaches are in the top 10 beaches in the Caribbean, which I think says a lot about the natural beauty.
And my Straight Dog family, Christoph Harbour got all this land for $17 million. Would you believe that? They got a loan from the National Bank in the amount of $16 million and never paid back 1 cent to the National Bank. Christoph Harbour then borrowed another $16 million from the SIDF and to date have not paid back 1 cent to the government. They have sold over 100 lots, my Straight Dog family. And their lots go at $2 million and perhaps more in some areas. So they have made millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, my Straight Dog family. Then this most stupid prime minister, I say so respectfully, the most stupid prime minister we ever had, wanted to convince you and me and the country, my straight dog family, that we bought shares in Christopher Harbour. What nonsense, my straight dog family.
Christopher Harbour situation. I know the reporters asked about it last week, and you said the government was not writing off any debt. But when people are bandying about the talk that the debt is going to be written off, it means that the debt probably is not being serviced. Can you address that for us? Because remember, they borrowed this money from the CBI, and as far as I'm concerned, they have a right to know about it. So let us know if it's up to date, if they're honoring the obligation to the Federation.
Right. I want to thank the caller for her call, and these are very important questions. When it comes to the issue of Christopher Harbour, there is not a loan agreement. We have an investment in Christopher Harbour.
What nonsense.
Christopher Harbour is presently valued at about $600 million. The country owns a third of, we earn 30% of that. So calculate that, EK. 30% of 600 million. Was 200 million.
200 million, my
So
lord.
we own the country now, indirectly, but the SIDF owns about $200 million of business. We can decide what we want to do with it. The truth is we have put in 16 million. As a matter of fact, there is a plan that we can get that in land and sell the land and make, SIDF can sell the land and make a profit. So I want to let people know it's not a loan, it's an investment. And we own 30% of Christopher Harbour. And we can decide how we can dispense of it. However, I would say that we are in a very good position. Right. So I want people to start thinking with it. So the caller spoke about a loan, but just to inform her, there's no loan arrangement here. There's an investment. The SIDF owns 30% of what you see over there,
So
which is a lot of money.
Have the infrastructure developed even further?
Yes.
And in the next 20, 30 years, it can cost more?
But it will cost more, because if we invest more in it, it can reach up to $1 billion, which means the country will earn about $300 million. Right? So I just wanted to clarify that when it comes to loan to investment. So you do have an investment there. And in the long run, when you look at an investment that you invest, let's say $60 million US, and now you're looking that you might have close to 80 million. I mean, if you say 16 to 80, that's like a good return.
That's a good piece of sugar.
That's a good return. And that is what we want our people to start thinking about investments.
Right.
The government can decide, do we just take our $16 million and go? Take it in land, sell the land, make a profit. We have multiple options, but the government is in a strong position. Well, the SIDF is in a strong position. Let me put it that way.
What convoluted nonsense, my straight dog family. To put it mildly, as an ordinary citizen put it, although in another context, I believe it can be applied here. As he said, Terence Michael July is a dunce.
Why do you come like you got guns? I need to teach July some sense.
And my straight dog family, however, it is the issue of crime that is bothersome. Because addressing crime and violence effectively requires a holistic approach that considers various factors and involves collaboration among government, communities, organizations, and individuals. How could July convene a stakeholder meeting and not invite the PLP? How could he, my straight dog family? When I saw this, I was baffled, and I'm sure you would be as well. How could July convene a stakeholder meeting and not invite the PLP? According to the political leader of the PLP, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, he noted, as per the press release, and I quote, while yesterday's opening session of the 90-day campaign on crime and violence has come 65 murders too late, it is the first positive step taken by the Juliet administration to begin tackling escalating crime and violence in the country in a meaningful way. One wonders at the seriousness of these consultations if there is a lack of representation from all key stakeholders in our nation. The failure to extend an invitation to the PLP or any other stakeholder and to ensure that such an invitation was received is a rather bad start. It begs the question as to whether this 90-day exercise is purely window dressing, with the cost of these activities being picked up by the taxpayers of the Federation. The release concludes, my Straight Talk family. The PLP played a pivotal leadership role in the former Team Unity administration, which had realized considerable evidence-based success in crime fighting and crime prevention over its 7.5-year tenure in office. As such, the PLP is in a position to make a meaningful contribution to the national consultation campaign for the good of all concerned in the country we all love, unquote, my Straight Dog family. But are we surprised, my Straight Dog family? Because July said that he cannot sit with Timothy Harris. He said that, my Straight Dog family. Do we recall this?
Timothy Harris was in the Labour Party, outside of politics or anything else. This is somebody who would be very difficult to sit down with, to negotiate. And I know I cannot sit to negotiate with.
Imagine that. He cannot sit with Timothy Harris. Sad. Addressing crime and violence effectively requires a comprehensive and inclusive approach. It requires maturity, which Prime Minister July obviously lacks. It's crucial for the government in St. Kitts and Nevis or anywhere really to engage with all stakeholders, including political parties, community leaders, law enforcement, and the public. Open dialogue and collaboration can help in understanding the root cause of crime, developing strategies that are grounded in the realities of local communities, and implementing solutions that have broad support. How can you, for example, just invite the Commissioner of Police and not the High Command of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force? July and his cabinet members utilize about 1/3 of the strength of the police force. They have about 30 all told security detail. Even his son is assigned 2 security officers, my Straight Dog family. He himself has over 20. But only a mature and cooperative approach can build trust between the government and the community, which is essential for effective policing and for encouraging citizens to contribute to crime prevention efforts. It's about creating a united front and ensuring that strategies are well-rounded and address various aspects of crime, from socio-economic factors to law enforcement practices. What a sad day in St. Kitts Nevis, my Straight Dog family, as Prime Minister July got it wrong again. That's my story tonight, and I am not going to change it. I will open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. But before I do, I always like to implore you to respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. And let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of doing and saying those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis at 9:06. My Street Dog family, we go straight to the lines and say good night to our first caller. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night.
This court is for persons who stand up for truth. Many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct or for being years ahead of your time. If you're right and you know it, speak your mind. Speak your mind. Even if you are a minority of one, the truth is still the truth. I repeat, many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct or for being years ahead of your time. If you're right and you know it, speak your mind. Speak your mind. Even if you are a majority of one, the truth is still the truth. Have a great evening.
Have a great evening, my dear. Thanks a lot for your quotation. As per usual, you went pretty fast on me. Not that skilled to do shorthand, but I'll try to get that right. But let's go back to the lines nonetheless. My Straight Talk family at 9:08. Is it 6 minutes?
Good night.
Yes, 8 minutes past 9 o'clock. Caller, you live. Good night, my dear.
Good night.
How are you, my brother? Good night. And how art thou?
Well, I'm thanking God for life. Yeah, Psalms 103. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Who healeth our iniquity, and who healeth our diseases, and who redeem us of thy life from destruction, and crown with loving kindness and tender mercy. Mr. Pattis, it is good to listen to you tonight. And I ain't taking up no time for answers. To see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My Straight Dog family, I always welcome your biblical interventions. Jeffrey Marishaw reads this email. I listened to your message last week, and I must commend you for a well done job in organizing the successful team of finding Lord Black. But I was not surprised the way you said the Deputy Prime Minister Jeffrey Hanley treated you. The man had you like a little boy, ignoring your calls and lying to you. A man like you who fought like hell to put them in power. Now they are acting like you are an nonentity, unimportant, and like you are nobody. The man is treating you like a dog, begging him, calling him, and lying to you. That is not good enough. But Marishaw, if I had my own experience of him, I did have my own experience of him, beg your pardon, the same things you related, I would have said, Marishaw, boy, you lie. But that is the man behavior and attitude. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening, my dear. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I am peaceful. I can see those dimples. Yes.
Okay. I'm good too. I'm good. What is what according to this? I have a
few things to say, But what a calling for tonight, I would like to know if we cannot go outside and get some signature to get this snake come down after his throne or what he call it, get him paper and in work. I will let the gang of signature for that. And send it to the Governor General.
I didn't hear the first part of your question now. If you can what?
I said, I would like to know if we cannot get some signature outside there. Send it to the Governor General to take down this snake from which part he stands. Because he's not working for nobody in the country and he's getting paid. So we'd like to know if the signature then wouldn't do. And if the Governor General and decide to take him down from the SCR, we get some signature for she too and remove she because everything starts at the head. Nobody is doing nothing. So we wait to know if we can get them there too. Because see them taking back everyone that I must say gone home can't do nothing. Who can walk have to use wheelchair to go to the office. Some of them, they might chew card like a cattle. Some of them smoking cigarettes, like cigarette going out of style. Some of them, they have whatever on the face. They don't want anybody to see, so they might take some of them here and cover the face and what's not. So therefore, we ain't have nothing good. And I will like to spend a warning to July tonight. Please, you say you bought the country. I would like to please give back whoever bought the country the money that we can enjoy ourselves in Thinkit and Nevis. But we ain't doing it right now. So please give them back the money that we can enjoy Thinkit. Whoever bought it, you say it could be bought. So you know who bought it? Please give them back the money that we could get with freedom in Thinkit and Nevis, because we ain't going good right now here at all. But you just have a good night, and if I get back in, I will come back.
Thank you. Have yourself a good night as well. Very interesting proposition. Signing up a petition. I believe I saw a petition being formulated. I saw it somewhere on social media, but in an ideal world, ideal democracy, that may be looked at. But constitutionally, I don't know how possible that is. I understand it. I understand you, my straight dog family. But it's not a way we can easily go. Caller, you're alive. 9:15 is the time. My straight dog family. Hello, caller.
Hello, Mr. Straight Talk.
How are you, my brother?
Abracadabra, my brother from another mother. How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
What can I say, man? So far, so good. It's a blessing to hear you.
Likewise.
I understand.
Likewise.
So you are doing a wonderful job. That's all I can say. You are doing a wonderful job, and the people love you. I understand. And as long as you just like the court lady, you hear what she says? People, everybody think that telling the truth is the way, but not that. It's not that, because I went to the courts as a witness, and I tell more lawyer, and the judge believe me. So yes, the judge believe me, and the one who was talking the truth, the judge say he tell too much lie. So I'm saying, oh, he know that I was telling the truth when I was telling all that lie. And then he get the truth in front of him and he said, no, the truth is lie. Because all I says to him, I didn't see this thing happen. And he said, me telling the truth. But me see thing happen. Me see it. But me decide me not gonna tell him that. You know, me gonna just tell him me ain't know nothing about it. So that's what the court lady is saying, that is the truth that you know set you free. Not the truth that they tell. Because King Lear is saying he telling the truth. And the next thing, all this kind of politics that go overboard. But, Mr. Straight Talk, you just do what you got to do, and I just call you to let you know that you are doing a wonderful job, so you can continue to do what you are doing, because one of these old days we're going to get drunk. The last time we get drunk off of that sea, so we're going to do it again. Understand? So I just want to say good night to my lovely niece there in St. Louis. Texas Queen, how are you? My brother Culture and my brother Alvin there in Bellevue and his son George Reed. And good night, Mrs. Lyda. How are you? Straight Talk, you have a lot of people listening to you. I'm amazed that they just meet my brother and say, look, you brother this, you brother that. And he said, yes, he and Straight Talk are brothers. But that's all there is to it. So, my brother, I can't wait to see you. Understand that? Like I said, we're going to get drunk. Mr. Straight Talk, it's gone for now. See you soon.
See you when I see you, my brother. Have yourself a wonderful rest of the evening. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, are you still there? You're live.
Yes, Patches. Good evening, Patches.
Oh, call, what's it say? Call who?
Call the devil himself here.
What is this?
Yeah, let me give my respect to all the listeners in the classroom of Straight Talk. What is Straight Talk? Man, you make me laugh here. Brother Nabo, we waiting on you. Brother Welcome, and Brother Slide Wine, Maisie, and all the warriors who are not afraid to speak their mind on Straight Talk. That is what Straight Talk is all about. Thank God for Ian Patches Liburd of Newtown. A serious man, a tell no lie man, a talk the truth man. Thank God for you. Patches, you know one of the reasons why the crime has escalated so fast and so quick and so high? Because too many policemen around the bloodhound, because he is nothing but a circus clown. And if you take a walk down to Irish Town, not one single police can be found. Check that out. Let me go from Nevis come down. It's a good thing when people can take what is being said by people, you know, because when they hear the voice of the person who been talked about, they cannot say it ain't them. I like the clip that you keep on playing from the snake Mark Brantley, the political war being, the political prostitute, said that the best thing ever happened to Nevis is under the Team Unity administration. The best thing. He said it, and it's on tape. And now he's going to turn around and don't swallow the lying pills from July and say that the Jew administration treating Nevis better than Team Unity. That snake will bite Mr. Emery in the back. God bless Mr. Emery's soul. He think anybody can believe it? If he been getting $400 million from the former administration to take care of Nevis business, and the hospital up there is unfinished, and work to be done at the airport and all over Nevis where work is to be done, none has been completed. Why he do with the $400 million that he gets from the former administration under Prime Minister Dr. Harris? Boy, snake man, stop telling lies. God gonna deal with you. The Lord, 7 things that the Lord hated, and 3 of them are on the line. A proud look, hands that shed innocent blood, and a lying tongue. Those words here and those warning, they're gonna come back to you and they're gonna mash you up. All you need now to eat is something under a bull belly, and then take your baseball bat and go play baseball. Patches, I will come back because I want to make some sharp punches and want as many persons get in tonight here. Because I'm coming down in St. Kitts now when I come back. Thank you so long, brother.
Thank you for your intervention. Talk. Reads this email. I am tired of empty talking. The symposium last Friday was a facade and just a show to alleviate the fears of some people. They are not serious about the scourge of criminal activity taking place. How could it be when the Premier is saying that meted out to Dr. Drew and the leader of PAM, Shani Gray? He meted out to Dr. Drew and the leader of PAM, Shani Gray Brooks, but deliberately ignored the NRP and PLP leaders. So how far they expect to reach with this stupid waste of time symposium? The Premier ought to be ashamed of himself with that malice, grudge, and envy he has against Harris and Janice Daniel Hodge, whereby he could not mete out to them to discuss crime as he did to the others. Anyhow, the symposium was just sheer rhetoric, a total waste of time, and nothing else but a talk shop. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding caller. You're live.
Mr. Liburd, I'm repeating the quote.
Oh, yes, if you go a little slow for me.
Okay. Many people, especially ignorant people, you have that?
Yes.
Want to punish you for speaking the truth.
Yeah.
For being correct.
For being correct.
For being you.
For being you, yes.
Never apologize for being correct.
Never apologize for being correct.
Or for being ears.
For being ears?
Being, B-E-I-N-G, ears ahead of your time.
Or years?
Ears. Ahead of your time. If you're right and you know it.
If you are right?
If you are right and you know it. Speak your mind.
Speak your mind.
And then he said, speak your mind again, even if you are a minority of one. The truth is still the truth.
Truth is still the truth. Thank you very much for calling back.
You're welcome. Okay, bye.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye.
Yes, my Stray Dog family, I thank that caller for getting me back. Many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct or being years ahead of your time. If you're right, speak your mind. Speak your mind, even if you are a minority of one. Speak the truth. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller. Yes, caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Hold on. Good night. Good night.
Yes.
Greeting.
Yes. Yeah, just move away from your equipment. Could you?
Hold on. Let me shut that down. Hold on a second. Let me just take this away. I'm sorry about that delay. Let me reiterate. Good night to all listeners and wonderful people of St. Kitts and Nevis and to the rest of the world. First of all, I would like to elaborate on the portfolio of the former Prime Minister, Denzel Douglas. I have no problem with your portfolio, but listen this. The cry of St. Kitts and Nevis are within. And I know I listened to a interview or press conference recently you've been to India and perhaps to Japan in respect to investing in the country of St. Kitts and Nevis. But remember what I said. The cry of St. Kitts is within. And you are going out to other countries to look for investment. What good the investment will be for the people at the present moment when things are hard? You all are not looking in the backyard. You have to clean up the backyard before you go in the front. Because if you don't clean up the backyard, how can you go out and look forward? You have to clean up what is going on in the country. I will think that Mr. Douglas, of all the ministers in the Labour Party, should ruffle feathers and be of courteous, empathetic to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because right now, they need help. Some might not seem to need any help. Some might just be happy because of the party line business. Some people will just stay party line. There is nothing Labour can do wrong. And that is not a truth from your heart. Forget about the party line. I think the backyard should be cleaned up before you all going out to other countries. Okay? Unless you all are bringing in something fruitful. Okay? I heard that India could be investing in the country in hotels. How much hotels are in St. Kitts? How functional they are, how profitable they are, how much jobs is generating to the people of St. Kitts. The broadcast on St. Kitts is the murder capital of St. Kitts. No one wants to go to a murderous place. So the backyard has to clean up. St. Kitts has to clean up before you all go out. Clean up the country, feed the people, spread some wealth to the people. Okay? This is no party business. This is human. Fight for humanity. You all are not doing that. I need you all to clean up what's going on in the country and move forward and then go out and get all the investment that you need. Yes, we need the money. We need the money. People need money. Because that is the legal tender. That is the exchange. Even exchange is no robbery. How I would feel well when nothing is going on in the country, no jobs. There are no jobs. You all are not utilizing how to fix the infrastructure so the construction people can get work. The food people can get work because everything is a chain. Draw a circle and put everyone in a link. Everything tying to each other. That's the equation. Clean up the backyard before you all go in the front yard.
Okay.
Okay? I have no problem with your portfolio. Yes, go far in, but do it first in backyard. Do it first in St. Kitts and Nevis. I care, and that's what I will do. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. I will. Thank you. Appreciate it, Patches.
Thank you very much for your intervention. I feel and hear your passion, and we look forward for your intervention whenever you get to St. Kitts. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Patches.
Good evening, my dear.
I've been listening to you for the past week, and I've been hearing everyone asking about the church. But I have come to say this evening that the church of Jesus Christ is alive and well. The church is doing what the church is supposed to be doing. We are praying, we are fasting, we are spreading the gospel. When the church comes to the nation, they reject the gospel. Now there is a dilemma. They find it fitting to say, where is the church? The church is alive and well. What is going on in St. Kitts is a spiritual thing. It is spiritual wickedness in high places. There's a lot of initiation going on. There's initiation to get power and to maintain power. But I come tonight to say that as a part of the church that Christ died for, we have the power to pluck up, to pull down, and to tear down. And we are going to stand on the premises and the promises of God and do what we have to do. Bible says, blessed is the man who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. The government has chosen a set of people for the 90 days. I haven't seen any pastor in it. I haven't seen any prophet. I haven't seen any evangelist. But yet they're saying what the church is doing. You know why? Their deeds are evil. So they do not want anybody who is connected to the real power and the higher power to be a part of it. Because we have the eyes to see. We have the ears to hear. And they do not want that because they want to stay in power. The Bible also declares that when the righteous are in authority, the land rejoices. But when the wicked rule, the land mourns. Right now, St. Kitts and Nevis is mourning. We are mourning. And so, God did it already, and He will do it again. There is still Caleb and Joshua who will take the people of St. Kitts back to the promised land. We are like the children of Israel. We cried to God for a king. God said no. We still cried. He said, okay, I'll give you your desire. Now the desire has come. We are crying bitterly. But God is still merciful. And God is still large and in charge. And the church, God says, call. And He will answer. And He says, while we're yet calling, He will bring it to pass. There's still a people who have not bowed their knees to bear. And we're going to stand firm. And God will come and put in His divine intervention. And we will be delivered. I want to say to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, there's a new update. God is about to turn the captivity of St. Kitts and Nevis in the right direction. The church is alive and well. The church is alive and well. COVID came, we wanted God. COVID gone, and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis has gone and whoring again. But God is still merciful because He has people like me and other pastors and bishops and evangelists and prophets who have not bowed our knees to Baal, who believe that God is who He says He is, and He will deliver us. The captivity of St. Kitts and Nevis is about to turn. What?
I'm sorry. We've lost that caller. We thank you for your spiritual intervention, and don't know if you needed a top up. Perhaps you can call back and complete that little sermonette. But yes, when the wicked rule, the people mourn. That's a message. It's quite poignant in terms of what's going on. And it's unfortunate that the pastors or the prophets or the prophetesses have not been invited, but so many people have not been invited. That's why one wonders how serious they are about this crime. Some people may take it as a joke, but it is a very serious challenge that Big Life sent out to Mark Brantley, asking him to hand over the monthly payments he's receiving as leader of the opposition to him, Big Lies, for he's not deserving of that money. Brantley has some shame. Get some common sense, man. Have a conscience and abandon your greed and avariciousness for money. How much longer you plan to enrich yourself riding on the backs of the country? For years now you have been collecting 2 monthly payments for work done simultaneously in St. Kitts and Nevis. And you ought to know that it is impossible. Remember, you cannot take the vast amount of money you have accumulated to hell with you. I countenance and support Big Lice's call for you to pay him with the opposition leader's check, because he's the one doing the work that you are not doing. And it is plain to see that you are receiving the opposition salary under false pretenses, reads this email. It's 9:36, my Street Dog family. If you have just joined me, we are looking at our thesis tonight, which is captioned, which I've titled, Prime Minister July has got it wrong again. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, I thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller.
Patches, a pleasant good evening to you, sir. My cousin Patches, good evening.
How are you, my dear cousin Marsha? Yes.
Oh, I'm right here moving on smoothly. And no weapon formed against me shall prosper.
That's true.
And who God bless, no man curse. Patches, I have a lot of topics I can touch on, but I want to, put this main topic out of the way because it's very important. Patches, we're living in a world right now in St. Kitts. We're living in a time, actually, where nothing confidential in government. Patches, they have a set of vagabonds running high top office. Vagabonds, because of their political affiliation with different parties, they put them to the top, and they are a set of vagabonds. Vagabonds, Patches. And this thing must stop. Listen to now, Patches. Lots of topics I'm going to skip here anyway because I'm trying to get in ever so long and I can't get in. So I'm going to, skip to many topics tonight, Patches. Patches, I could remember that it was tonight when Mr. Glenn Goes Philip had his first public meeting in Old Road. Patches, I took up my son and my daughter. The Lanta was 13 years old at that time. Put him to read and bring on Mr. Philip. I took up my daughter, Davisha Louis, to go on the stage. That time I was a big labor. To go on the stage, to sing. The YouTube is there, you go back and you see them. 13, because with Dalante and Davisha, they're airport. Take them up and go on the stage. Now, Patches is going to tell me, if anybody, this is for anybody, if you is a farmer, you want to be a labor, you is a PLP, you want to be a labor, it's your choice. It's a matter of choices. People do what they want, and when people hungry, they go where they could get good food, Patches. You there with me, Patches?
Yes, I'm following you, my dear.
Okay, when people hungry, they go where they can get good food and get good nourishment. What I am saying tonight to you, Patches, right? If you call in on the radio, this particular radio on Straight Talk, you get victimized. If you call in on other radio station, no victimization. But if you call in and this thing must stop, if you call in on this Straight Talk, you get victimized. Oh, and they're going to drag your name and bring down your name, but nobody going to silence me. Nobody gonna silence me because I am a political activist and I just follow up election politics from all over the globe. And the other day I went and follow up Jamaica election, and you see how the people are going on, and nobody they ain't afraid. They show in the face and TikTok, you go on TikTok and you see how they're bringing down this, they're bringing down that. They're bringing on Tawan Dead, and because they're talking the mind. But when you instate it and you want to talk about the bad things, what the government are doing and those in authority are doing, they want to victimize you. They want to move you up and down the place, and they want to do this to you. They want to do that to you. What people are seeing the light right now, and nobody are afraid to speak. Because I want to touch base and say, I want to put this on record tonight, as I usually do. Let me put it on record. I love my Prime Minister, Dr. Timothy Harris. I love him dearly. And he is a man with a good heart, Patches. He have a good heart for the people. But time soon come. This time soon come, I get it from the Jamaican. PNP party. I don't know if you go on YouTube and you see when they say time soon comes. Government go, government comes.
True.
I want the whole entire world to know that government goes, government comes. And it's enough. Because we vote them in and when they're doing anything, we vote them out. And we vote them in again and they're doing nothing, we vote them out. And it's for the world spin like a globe. So nobody gonna silence me. Nobody gonna silence me from talking. I don't care. If I perish, let me perish, man, because I'm going to see the king.
Yes.
And things not going well. Things not going well. Once a guy used to sleep with me door open. Now I got to lock down my door. Just call my son and tell him, lock down my door because I'm in here. Lock up my door, lock down my door. Okay. These are the things, and this kind of victimization need to stop. It got some white-collar criminals. The whitest, you could say whiter than color criminals, ranting and planting this federation. And any bad man them alone is criminal. You have white people, white collar criminals. They're ranting and planting and seeking who made it devour.
Okay. Thank you very much, my dear.
Patrice, to have a good night. I'll call back in. Please, and Patrice, before I go, listen to Patrice. This show is getting bigger, better, and sweeter. And Patrice, I'm not going to have you guys got the show from 8 to 10. You need to get the show from 7 to 12. Move up. This is modern time.
Okay, my dear.
Okay, Patrice, have a good night, cuz.
Have a good night as well, cuz. Always to the point and never be afraid to talk. As I would say to you, be ye not. This is what the Psalm says. Be ye not as an horse or a mule, I think it says, lest they will come near you. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Call you live. Hello, caller.
How is Mr. Liburd?
I am peaceful, my dear brother. And yourself?
But not bad at all. Well, you should keep it that way. Don't lose it. Stay with that peaceful attitude.
Certainly.
We have been hearing over the last 2 years that we're in a sustainable island state. But last week, Thursday, there was a minister who held a press conference and said we are a sustainable country. And I started to figure, well, something must have changed in our country. But the way I see this, yes, there's some sustainable things in the country now. And I'm going to name out a few. For one, there's sustainable poverty, sustainable victimization, sustainable bad roads, sustainable lack of capital projects, and sustainable crime. So maybe I have to agree with the minister last week when he said that it's a sustainable country. What do you think about that?
You're right on point, my dear brother. You're right on point.
We have a lot of things. Yes. We have a lot of sustainable things to think about.
Yes, and we hope and pray it won't be sustained for much longer.
Okay, all right. I hope so too.
Yes.
Okay, take it easy, man.
Thank you very much for your intervention. Yes, you're so correct. We are a sustainable country, as that caller just intimated. We have sustainable poverty, victimization, bad roads, capital projects, crime. And there exists a problem, a real problem with our government, in that no matter what is said, it is not half as democratic as it should be. Our Constitution guarantees our fundamental rights and freedoms, and one of such is the right to express yourselves. So there's a very serious concern in that the rich, the special interests, have too much power in our political system, and the ordinary poor people, the ordinary public, has little or no power at all. And for any society to be truly democratic, political power must be shared by all. It must be distributed relatively equally among all of us of this beloved federation. And that's my position. Our federation is cursed, reads this email, because we have a wicked government in power. And the book of Proverbs tells us that when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. But when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. The prime minister has this special advisor, a man who don't believe in God. This advisor takes pride in blaspheming all religious bodies. He does not attend church at all, but seen him on the Baptist church rostrum with the other dangerous labor hypocrites paying tribute in song to ghosts at ghost funeral service, beg your pardon, reminded me of the saying that when they done kill you, they have the heart to attend your funeral. This labor administration is absolutely not good for us. Every time they are in power, a curse suddenly falls on us. The murder rate is a telling example. Read this email. Good night or good evening, Mr. Liburd. I hope you will not be offended by what I am about to say. Fact, you are a Nevis man born in St. Kitts. Okay, the snake Mark had a talk to the nation about crime. How dare him? You remember that outlaw who was found with a gun and matching ammo? Yes, Patches. He went away to study how to run the asphalt plant in Nevis. The acting DPP pulled the case. He jumped on a plane the same day to St. Martin and is now living his best life in the USA. Now Snake sidekick Brandt, whose company messed up the hospital extension, writes some stupidness in the papers about crime. Patches, tell Mark we are not their sister island. If anything, we are their big brother. And if they're frightened about what's going on in the big brother island, pull the nuclear pin and go and secede. Then what happened on the big island won't affect them on the small island. Patches, Nevis is not the end of the world, but you can see the end of the world from Nevis. Much respect. Do not stop. Keep the pressure up, my straight dog family. And I want to thank you, caller, emailer rather, for reminding me of that issue with that gun. And it's an oversight. And this is the issue we have with crime and violence in our country. And some time ago in Nevis, and if Mark Brantley is serious about crime, he should tell us about this issue when this notice of discontinuance was filed in the court sometime in April last year. A notice of discontinuance in the case of Mr. Andres Bartles. Is or does Mark Brantley know this individual? This individual was found with guns and ammunition. And strange but true, acting Director of Public Prosecutions, Greatest Gordon, in fact, filed this notice of discontinuance. And it reads, you can see it on your screen there, my straight dog family. How did I forget that? And thank that emailer for reminding me that in the exercise of my powers under section 65, is it 65, of the Constitution of St. Christopher Nevis, let a notice of discontinuance be entered in my name, the case of Andres Bartles, who stands charged before the District C Magistrate Court with the offences of possession of firearm and ammunition, contrary to Section 29(1) of the Firearms Act, Cap 19.05, an order to discharge the current proceedings therein, and for doing so, this shall be your warrant. Imagine that. Imagine that. A notice of discontinuance in the case. And this is just last year. Last year, let me get that date right. It was dated the 25th of April, 2023. So what can Mark Brantley tell us about crime and violence? Caller, I want to thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller.
That is good night.
Good night, my dear.
Yes. I'm back again.
Good to hear you. Good to hear you.
Okay. That is, I do not know if you remember when this snake used to answer the radio saying that Timothy's career is over. He will never run again in this. His career is over. Imagine the lady of Nevis, they went to court for fraud in the election. Okay, well, whatever he do, the case gone against the lady. He running down the lady. The lady must pay $60,000. He running down, he put on his heart upon top of the case and all. He running down the lady to pay the 50,000. To bring in a man in a syndicate and need it here. Give the man $12 million taxpayers' money. And he ain't run down the man. But he own the vision. So he top up there used to go around the people and what's not. And want to lock up the woman. Any minute to ask if the woman don't pay the money yet and what's not. You see that snake there? The time is coming there. So already you have to prepare that how his career over. He better start to think about his career. And that is I was listening this morning on the Caribbean news. And I heard the Prime Minister from Antigua was saying that they're going to have a curfew from farm for children off the road. And surprisingly this afternoon we hear them say the curfew for children is in a city. That's what they do. Go out, listen to hear what people say. I will not run back every day. Come here. My God. I hear the Antigua man today. I talk about curfew for children. And tonight, this afternoon, I'm hearing them say, curfew and down here for children. What means so much export. And they can't figure out nothing. They have to go and go listen to what people say. God be with us. That is have a blessed evening.
Have a blessed evening as well, my dear Street Dog family. And let's go right back to the lines and thank this caller for holding caller you live.
Yes, Patches, I'm here again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Patches.
Yes, sir.
Patches, my partner Gene, forget this one here. Sustainable lies coming from Jew and all his cabal. That's one thing they're good for, sustain the lie them. Now, Patches, years ago, I heard him said, Miss Henry spoke to Joe and asked him, why don't he sit down with Dr. Harris, Timothy Harris, and get some advice from Dr. Harris, from the experience of Dr. Harris, and how he get the crime low down to where it was. And those were his words. He have nothing to say to Dr. Harris. He don't want to hear nothing from Dr. Harris. I say, yeah, and he's going to be a leader of a country, and those are the ignorance he talking. No wonder the crime escalates so, because he do not believe in God. You do not believe in God. He believe in the organization called Taylor's Range. So unless some kind of body blood is sacrifice, he ain't feel good. That is years ago. Me Carl Bone and others talk about it. When they go in the house down Church Street, go argue. They should put this thing on the table because too many wrongs been happening and getting away with it. I don't even remember some years ago, a brother took his sister from high school in her uniform, carry her Eloise Mountain, and bang on she head with him and kill her. And he in there eating taxpayers' food. A fellow killed 2 sisters over keys not too long ago. And he in there now eating food. And I could go on and on and on. There is a vehicle in 1840. It does not work with gasoline, diesel, coals, nor electricity. All he work with is a man-powered, man-hand. Just move that thing there. And he will teach others a lesson not to kill innocent people. The Bible said, he who shed a man's blood innocently, his blood also should be shed. The Bible said that. Okay. Why they don't go in Parliament, go debate that deal, put the hand in the thing around the neck, get them out of the way.
Okay.
That's why all of them, they're killing and running away and believe, well, they know it. This is the thing to do. Even though they was advised to do that.
Okay.
That's what they're following up. Marshall, I'm glad you come in. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Don't be afraid of them. Nobody gonna run from them. They don't know the place.
Okay, my
the country's not theirs. Anyway, thank you, Patrice.
Thank you as well. Let's go. Yes, thank you as well. Let's go back to the lines and thank these callers for holding. I'm going to guide you by the rules of brevity. Caller, are you live? Are you there? Thank you for holding.
Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, sir.
I am very frightened because what you have in Sankis is people trying to get even, and they don't even have proper firearms training. Now, a gun is an emergency tool. Tomorrow night, I am going to attend a training that is entitled "Should I Shoot?" And what that is basically telling you when to use deadly force. You cannot use deadly force over properties. But what the law allows you to do is if you're threatened with deadly force, you can use deadly force in self-defense. But you're not authorized to use it even to protect property. It is to protect yourself and any loved one that's impacted. I would suggest to the commissioner that he arrange a meeting, a public meeting, or a series of public meetings in the different villages where they would educate the people on the use of a firearm and the need for a firearm. Because the people in St. Kitts just think that when you have a gun, you just go and shoot willy-nilly. That's not what the gun is for.
Okay.
The gun is for when your life is in imminent danger. And imminent means immediate. And that's my contribution for this evening.
Thank you.
People need to understand that you just don't go shoot people because you have a grievance.
Okay.
You have to learn to let the law take its course. But in the event that your life is in imminent danger, then you're privileged to use deadly force.
Okay, got you loud and clear, my dear brother. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your intervention. We go back to the lines and take a few more calls before I wrap. I go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Liburd, happy to get you, man. How you doing tonight, man?
I am peaceful, my dear brother. And how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm going to get back. You know, you have your observations and your thesis, and I have mine. no opposition across the Narrows is creating a bad situation in Sinkis and Nevis. When I got in touch with this situation here, this political scene, and the biggest thing was the crime, like you always hear me talk about. So I'm just going to ask you and your listeners one question tonight. Do you guys see where the crime situation is right now? You've been hearing me foretelling this, right? I came into the Federation. You see where the crime situation is right now, right, Patches?
Yes. With you.
You see what the spike we had recently, right?
Yes.
All right. I've been pushing that MO. I've been pushing this narrative for months now. It's materializing. No one across the world, no one who has connection with Sinkis and Nevis can say this is a good situation. This situation is terrible, man. You know, the people, you know, the last two murders seems like it was of a different level. And persons' names who was being called, they have to come forward now and clear their names. And if they don't, it's not going to be a good look. The people in Sinkis and Nevis has to change the trajectory of their own country. They cannot just sit here and watch this continue and depend on the politicians and the government to make a change. The people themselves need to make the change to benefit them. It needs an intervention. Sinkis and Nevis need new leadership. This current government is not going good. Okay. Otherwise, all of these people has been talking in the radio. They have to find a way to put that party politics aside and come together and go in the street and demonstrate. Who is going to lead the people in the street? We need new leaders. We need strong leaders. We need somebody to lead the people in the street to protest against this stuff. And if we don't, we're going down the path of destruction. I know what's going on the ground in Sinkit. I've seen it. I was live in the flesh there the past few weeks.
Okay.
Sinkis and Nevis they need some type of intervention there. Somebody has a narrative, the polite violence. Guess what? The polite violence is now hitting the streets. The parties themselves, they're acting like gangsters. Concerning the crime, I've heard when I asked the question that the gangsters themselves were the ones that made that choose that they want peace. And me, right now, I'm talking straight to those young kids. I'm going to ask those gangsters to come together again and find a way to have a ceasefire. They need a ceasefire. The gangsters of Sinkis and Nevis who have the place running wild like this, we need to get you guys to put down the guns and come to some type of amicable arrangement where we could have a ceasefire in Sinkis and Nevis, because the politicians, they're not going to do it. I'm calling on the gangsters of Sinkis and Nevis tonight, if they're hearing my voice, to put down their guns and find a way to relieve the country from this stress.
Okay.
Release the country, give the country a relief, because it's not going to come by the politicians. And those coward people who are just talking and no action is not going to come by them. So I'm talking directly to the gangsters them tonight. Please put down the guns, bro, and girls and guys. Put down the guns and find a way. We need a ceasefire in Sinkis and Nevis. We need that.
Okay, got you, man. Got you, Lord.
All right.
Thanks a lot for.
And you'll hear more from me shortly, man. And I just want to wish the Federation the best. All right. Thanks a lot, man. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night as well. And to add what you're saying, I very well believe. I very well believe as well that justice must be blind. Just to add what you're saying, because sometime last year, this emailer reminded me of this notice of discontinuance. In this case, the Commissioner of Police versus Andres Bartlett. And we're asking the snake Mark Brantley if he's familiar with this case. In the matter of section 65, subsection 2C of the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis. And the acting, mark you, the acting then DPP, Greatest Gordon Hazel, dispatched this notice of discontinuance to Her Honor Miss Yasmin Clark, Magistrate of District C, Magistrate Charleston Nevis. It's on your screens, it's on your monitors. And no one can explain this till today, my Straight Dog family. In the exercise of my powers, it reads under section 65, subsection 2C of the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis, let a notice of discontinuance be entered in my name in the case of Andres Bartlett, who stands charged before the District C Magistrate Court with the offenses of possession of firearm and ammunition, contrary to Section 20, subsection 1B of the Firearms Act, Cap 19.05. That has been amended in order to discharge the current proceedings therein, and for doing so, this shall be your warrant. Imagine that. A warrant issued to Her Honor Miss Yasmin Clark in the case of the Commissioner of Police versus Andres Bartlett, dated the 25th of April 2023. Who is this Andres Bartlett? Has he any relationship with Premier Mark Brantley? These are some questions we have to ask. And are we serious about crime? We're not serious about crime. And if we are, then justice must be blind, as we have always heard. I'll dispense up my emails before I wrap tonight's programming. And you are so right, Mr. Premier. We lack consistency, reads this email. But remember consistency, your government is ongoing, but look what you did. You stopped a number of projects that NRP had in the pipeline and failed to carry them through. They were very good projects that were calculated to bring significant benefits to the people of Nevis. But because of your political selfishness, you stopped them when you got into power. Just to name a couple, the oil depot and the fisheries complex. You know where Nevis would have been economically today if you had followed through with them? Your sweet speech and grandstanding at the crime symposium last week was just another demonstration of your accustomed deceptive rhetoric. All what you articulated there last week has fallen on deaf ears, for you cannot be trusted, reads this email. Patches, good evening. I've been working at government headquarters for over the past 15 years. Well, Patches, I never see no worker in this building perform the way one specific worker who works at the SKNIS performs and behaves. Patches, I have been monitoring this specific worker who is an employee at the SKNIS department for over the past year and a half. He comes to work deliberately late every single day. He absents frequently, and when he do come to work late. I'm speaking up 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 12 o'clock, and 1 o'clock. This young man has to be the prime minister, and not even the prime minister comes to work this late. Reads this email. This cannot be right, because people who come to work every day and come for 8, and this same individual has to collect the same pay. I want Dr. Drew, the permanent secretary, and the chief personnel officer to look into this matter, because the workers at NIS cannot be comfortable having this worker doing as he please and abusing the treasury like this. Reads this email. Good night, Patches. Dr. Drew is clinically mentally unstable. We, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, can't wait to send the crazy man to the psychiatric ward. Dr. Drew can't even sit comfortable with Douglas, the most experienced person in the Labour Party. So we don't expect him to sit with Dr. Harris. Drew ain't clean off properly. His foot's still dirty. Look at the people Drew have around him. He's insecure, unintelligent, so we do not expect any better. Patches, between now and December, we will see 100 homicides. Hope not. God forbid that even mass shootings will soon happen in our country, because we have a venomous, bitter man as Prime Minister. According to Big Lies, St. Kitts and Nevis is in a mess. Reads this email. Dear Patches, I'm writing to express my deep concern and frustration over the recent actions taken by Prime Minister Dr. Drew regarding the exclusion of the People's Labour Party, PLP, from the crime symposium. This event was crucial for addressing the severe crime crisis gripping St. Kitts and Nevis. Yet Dr. Drew chose to let personal animosity towards Dr. Timothy Harris dictate who was allowed at the table. This is not just petty politics. It is a slap in the face of every Kittitian and Nevisan who is suffering due to the rampant violence. By refusing to engage with the PLP, Dr. Drew has shown that he is more interested in settling old scores than in leading this country through one of its darkest times. His blatant disregard for the need for all voices and experiences to combat this crime wave is not just a failure of leadership, it's an outright dereliction of duty. This kind of divisive behavior is a dangerous precedent. It undermines our democracy, fosters division, and leaves our communities vulnerable. If Dr. Drew is willing to jeopardize the safety of our nation over a personal grudge, what does that say about his ability to govern? It's time to call out this disgraceful conduct and demand a leader who puts the people above petty politics. Enough is enough. Reads this email. Hi Patches, I am writing this short email because I think that I do agree with the caller. I think your program is much too short, and I think that you should go from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. or from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. I really think that you should give this some thought, or you should be on for 3 days of the week. What do you think? Thanks for reading. Well, I always listen to the people, so I will consider it and see how we can satisfy the people. Good evening, sir. Listening from Chicago as always. So just wondering if you have a separate page where you have all those very important documents archived for us to go back and review for our knowledge and understanding, because those are some serious evidence against July's regime. Please let me know if you do, or if not, you should get one set up. Thank you from Chicago. Reads this email. The police have met with Miller's family and assure them of swift justice. Has the police met with other victims' family as well? Is this email. And this final email. Patches, I'm calling on the gunmen to come together for once and for all. We have shed enough blood in St. Kitts. I'm calling on these young men to come together and let us initiate a Save Ourselves SOS program. With the help of the government and NGOs, we can do that. Reads this email. And that's how are we going to do it for the emails, my Straight Talk family? And as I wrap and wind up tonight's programming, I in conclusion, I must say, I repeat, there exists a problem, a real problem with our government, in that no matter what is said, it is not half as democratic as it should be. My Straight Talk family, Kittians and Nevisians, understand the principle of one man, one vote. But that is why elections are so crucial to our democracies. Or as we will find in the literature, that is why elections define the characteristics of democracies. Ideally, elections, we all have the same amount of power, our one vote. My Straight Talk family, but your vote and my vote is just one among many other sources of political power. That is why I said ideally, meaning we are not in a perfect world, and even our Prime Minister July confessed that our elections are easily bought. The result is that instead of being responsive to average Kittitians, our government is primarily reacting to a powerful elite. This crop of leaders seems to always bow down to the socially superior part of our society. This government has had a massive influence over the lives of many, but just like administrations before, it surely got it wrong. But my Straight Talk family, as we wrap tonight's programming, there's one thing I must add that this July administration got right, and that is he amended the SRO in December 2022, SRO 33, I think it is, my Straight Talk family. But he never at all changed the fee structure, if you can look at your screens. As a result, although he claimed that the prison project was about criminality, my words, but he has collected so far over $500 million in fees. And we won't see that until next year, because for this, we'll see this year, we'll see the actuals at budget session. We should see the actuals for 2023, yes. And you will find here, say I said this to you, July collected over $500 million and more from Caribbean Galaxy. And that's the only thing he got right. But he got it wrong when he did not pay the dividend. But we live in a world that's filled with complexity, unpredictability, and uncertainty, my Straight Talk family. Therefore, in this era, we really need governments to get it right. We reflected on the COVID-19 pandemic response and the Life First strategy, which was so successful and earned us the distinction of recording the lowest number of deaths in the world, 48 deaths. Our team in the administration got it right with the vaccination program and economic stimulus that ran into millions, my Straight Talk family, and it was extended as well.
I turn now to the matter of the stimulus payment, $1,000 per month, that has been paid over the last couple of months by the Social Security Board. I have listened intently to callers on this weekly program expressing their gratitude for our comprehensive stimulus package and seeking extension of some components. As a caring and compassionate leader, I have, with the Cabinet, sought ways of responding without being fiscally reckless. I am pleased to advise that those persons who are not yet back out to work, according to the Social Security records, will receive a further assistance in September to help them meet some of their expenses at this difficult time.
But that was then, my Straight Talk family. But right now, the country is in need of a government that knows how to deal with the bread and butter issues, the high cost of food, the high cost of rent, the high cost of gasoline. Where are the 2,400 houses promised? But we should not expect anything better from the slow student. The country is in need of a government that knows how to kickstart the medicinal marijuana industry. Not just an empty promise of growing money on trees, according to Samal. The country is in need of a government that knows how to deliver a reliable electricity and water supply. Not to rent generators as they are doing, my Straight Talk family. Not at all. That's not what we want. Back to the old days of labor, renting generators for millions of dollars. Water is life, my Straight Talk family. But we will soon die from the quality of water being provided and from the daily rationing of this supply of water, my Straight Talk family. The country is in need of a government that knows how to tackle the climate change and to deal with the scourge of crime and violence. Our lives depend on it, but too many, this government seems clueless and their decisions leave us confused. We changed from a leader who was on top of the policy issues and was able to project a sense of calm compared with the present leader who fumbles his brief and lies like when a horse is trotting, my Straight Talk family. Most of us know the daftness of our Prime Minister. And one citizen put it mildly, my Straight Talk family, when he said this.
Why do you come like you got guns? I need to teach you like some sense.
But my Straight Talk family, it is the issue of crime that's most bothersome. Because addressing crime, my Straight Talk family, and violence effectively requires a holistic approach that considers various factors and involves collaboration among government, communities, organizations, and individuals. But would you believe that July will convene a stakeholder meeting and not invite the PLP? He said that he cannot sit with Timothy Harris. But how could he be that naive? Addressing crime and violence, beg your pardon, effectively requires a comprehensive and inclusive approach. It requires maturity. It's crucial for the government in St. Kitts and Nevis or anywhere really to engage with all stakeholders, including political parties, community leaders, law enforcement, and the public. How can you just invite the Commissioner of Police, for example, and not the High Command of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force? My Straight Talk family, how can he assign so many security officers to his cabinet? Well over 30. And there's a shortage in manpower in the force. But only a mature, beg your pardon, and cooperative approach can build trust between the government and the community, which is essential for effective policing and encouraging citizens to contribute, my Straight Talk family, to crime prevention efforts. And I want to leave you as well with this quotation from this lady. I found out it's a quotation coming from Mahatma Gandhi, which reads, and I quote, many people, especially ignorant people, want to punish you for speaking the truth, for being correct, for being you. Never apologize for being correct or being years ahead of your time. If you are right and you know it, speak your mind. Speak your mind. Even if you are a minority of one, the truth is still the truth. My Straight Talk family, in conclusion, it's about creating a united front and ensuring that strategies are well-rounded and address various aspects of crime, from socio-economic factors to law enforcement practices. My Straight Talk family, you hear the talk about public health issue. And crime and violence, yes, are considered public health issues because they significantly impact individual and community well-being, much like other health issues such as infectious diseases or chronic conditions. Violence and crime can lead to physical injuries, chronic health conditions, and mental health problems such as PTSD, anxiety, and depression. You don't need a psychiatrist to tell us about crime. My Straight Talk family, what we need is a united front, as I said, to ensure that strategies are well-rounded and address various aspects of crime, from socio-economic factors to law enforcement. What a sad day in St. Kitts and Nevis, my Straight Talk family, as Prime Minister July got it wrong again. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, and as always, I've heard your cries about extending the program. I gave you an extra half an hour tonight. I'll consider your request, my Straight Talk family. But I want you to be good to all whom you meet until we connect on Thursday. Be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceived, that you will achieve. First of all, you got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light and thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye, my Straight Talk family. I do apologize to the caller. I had that call on hold. Forgive me, caller. I overlooked that call, but forgive me. But my time is done, and I'm going to run. But as I said, whatever your mind conceive, you can achieve, but you must believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light and thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye until we connect on Thursday.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning.